Thoughts, views, and comments expressed by Rodney Moncur, his guests, callers, and advisors on Freedom March are not necessarily those of the management, ownership, or production unit of ILS, the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is a production of ILTV Studios and cannot be reproduced or represented in part or entirety without the express written consent of the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is the intellectual property of the Verizon Media Group. Copyright 2017. All rights are reserved.
The role of a woman in the society is to submit. Birth control are the pills of the devil. Education is so fundamental to the development of a people. Hang murderers. Simple as that. What am I voting for? Voting will change nothing.
Tout le monde haïtien, como ye. God save the Queen.
Broadcasting live from ILTV here in Nassau, Bahamas. Welcome to Freedom March. My name is Rodney Moncur. I'm a Justice of the Peace here in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. And of course, I am a member of the Holy Roman Catholic Church. And it is my pleasure to welcome my spiritual advisor and biblical scholar, Bradley Roll. Bradley, welcome to Freedom March.
Thank you, Senator.
And of course, in the studio is my personal assistant, Dion Delancey. Dion, don't say anything, but welcome to Freedom March. Well, today, many senators here in the country will go to Government House, I'm told around 5 p.m., where Her Excellency, Dame Margaret Pinling, will not swear them in as the Negroes are reporting. I'm just upset over how they always get the thing wrong. The Governor General does not swear senators in. What does she do? She gives them their instrument of appointment. And then, later on, whenever the first meeting of the Senate is taking place, they go to the Senate and they are sworn in. That is how it is done. But you know, it's a Negro society where many people are interested in politics but have failed to learn our system of government. Well, I have a lot of things on my mind because it's been a wonderful weekend. And when we return, we're going to look at how a Gestapo strategy was used to imprison a former deputy speaker of the Honorable House of Assembly. He was released over the weekend. And when I return, I'm going to teach you how to express yourself and tell Menace, Dr. Menace, we are angry as hell. All right? I'm building up no tension. I am angry as hell. Tout le monde haïtien, pas aller, rete là, parce que laisse-moi fini parler avec nous. Laisse-moi fini parler avec nous. My spiritual advisor, you will not interpret it, what I'm saying, but I want the Haitian to remember, never to forget today. J'oublié, never forget. J'oublié, never forget, parce que m'a parlé en anglais ak Creole haïtien. This is Freedom March. And when we return, I've asked my attorney, Wayne Monroe QC, to join me in the last hour because I need to put legal question to him over whether or not Gestapo tactics are lawful. This is Freedom March. Please remain with us. Spiritual advisor. If I ever need a spiritual advisor, I sure
need him now, eh?
I sure do need you now. So, my people, faites-moi yo. I sing my people the Bahamian. Stay with me. Rete la. Mapini. I'm coming back. This is Freedom March.
Freedom March with Rodney Moncur will be right back after this. This is Freedom March with Rodney Moncur.
Welcome back to Freedom March, broadcasting live here in Nassau, Bahamas. This is ILTV. My name is Rodney Moncur, and of course, my spiritual advisor and biblical assistant is Bradley Roll. Bradley, welcome once again to Freedom March.
Thank you, Mr. Moncur.
Would you kindly do the honor and read that announcement for me, Brother Roll?
Okay, Freedom March with Rodney Moncur is exclusively on ILTV. You can also watch Freedom March on Facebook Live, ILTV Studios Facebook page. There's also a live streaming on the website, www.iltvstudios.com. It is also live on TV on ILTV Cable, Channel 224, and BTC Flow TV, Channel 112. You want me to give out the numbers to call as well?
But of course, my spiritual advisor, because I've been flattered over the many of my people, the Negro people who call me on Friday.
Oh, okay.
So make sure they have the numbers.
The lines.
And I want the Conky Joe people to know that, it's also my people. So you must call me as well.
Yes, you can call in here live on Freedom March at the request of Mr. Moncur at 242-323-7775. That's the main line, 323-7775. There's also a toll-free number. That's 242-300-0045. That's toll-free, 242-300-0045. You can also text Mr. Moncur here on Freedom March at 242-357-7469. That's 242-357-7469, which is also the WhatsApp number. But before you continue, Mr. Moncur, I just have some encouragement for you.
Go ahead, my
know
spiritual advisor.
Yeah, you say that you're angry and you're upset. The Bible says this, Mr. Moncur, there's not an issue with being angry. The Bible says, however, that we are not to sin in our anger. Be angry.
I can be angry,
but don't sin.
I shall not sin.
Right. And then, of course, the Bible encourages in Colossians chapter 4 and verse number 6, it says to let your speech
hallelujah,
be seasoned with salt, full of grace, so that you may know how you ought to answer every man. So when you speak, you want to speak words that's going to, be beneficial and uplifting to whomever you're trying to reach. I want to encourage you along that lines because people, they're wondering, all right, you're the spiritual advisor. You're supposed to be here on the show to keep the temperament and try to keep, Rodney Moncur in order and try to keep him a little bit more peaceful, So I'm trying to do that today.
My spiritual advisor, I thank you.
Let your speech be seasoned with salt.
With salt.
Full of grace.
What if I left the salt home, my spiritual advisor?
No, the salt is always with you.
Oh,
You're the
amen.
salt of the earth.
Well, before I display my anger, I want to salute two elderly Negro citizens. You see, I want you all to know that even in your household, your children, they're reporting to me. So I want to salute Mrs. Rose Mary Gibbs Marshall and her sister, Mrs. Paula Gibbs Holder. Mrs. Gibbs Marshall, I have received information that you get up early in the morning, weed the yard, clean the house, and then you get dressed. And that you have been sitting down around 3:30 in the afternoon every day, just tune on or tune in to either BTC Flow 112 or Channel 224, waiting on Freedom March. I was so flattered, and I want to thank you for joining us on Freedom March. And I also would like to salute your sister, Paula Gibbs Holder. Listen, y'all gotta be one of the woman them. So every age woman is allowed to join the group as long as you accept me as the leader. So it's powerful. Two senior citizens, they do their work early in the day,
Okay.
and then they camp out in the front of the TV, just waiting for
In the
freedom.
afternoon.
In the afternoon. Isn't
Okay.
that powerful?
Yeah, that's great. That's great, Mr. Moncur.
And I salute all the people them, all over the Bahamas and on Facebook and around the world who joins us here at ILTV, channel 224 and BTC Flow 112.
So, Senator, the mere fact that you're reaching so many people, the onus is on you now to, be responsible. People look up to you now.
I'm 60 now.
Yeah, I understand.
What do you mean about being
Well,
responsible?
Influences.
I'm 60.
Influences.
How old am I?
You're 60.
And how old are you?
I'm 51.
How dare?
I'm not far from you. So influence is something else, Mr. Moncur. We want to make sure that when we influence people, that we do it in a very positive manner.
Okay, my spiritual advisor. I thank you.
With great power comes great responsibility.
I thank you.
Absolutely.
No doubt, supporters of the PLP would have been upset by the headline of The Punch. Now, The Punch is a very sinful newspaper. Goodness of mercy, I just turned to page 3. And at 60, I shouldn't be looking at page 3 because I'm going through midlife crisis. And they can cause me to sin with this sexy little thing here. Goodness me. But The Punch is a sinful paper, but their headlines, PLP's supporters, and particularly citizens of Tall Pines, might be concerned about the Punch headline in this morning's edition. So let's look at the headline so that I can tell PLPs there's nothing to worry about and that they should be happy. Don't worry, be happy. So as I look at the Punch, okay, I don't know why I'm giving this newspaper all of this coverage, because there's lie on me. Like how the Punch lied on me a couple of days ago, say I was going to ZNS. And nobody told me I was going. Sabats didn't tell me to go. Mr. Christie didn't invite me, but the Lion Punch said I was going to ZNS. Anyway, here's the headline of the Punch, and I'm going to read it. And I'm going to tell you something. The headline reads like this: Bob slapped $28 million loan demand on ex-MP Miller. Now, what is Bob? Bob is the Bank of the Bahamas. I want you not to worry about Leslie Miller. There's nothing to worry about. While they are purporting to demand the money, Leslie ain't got to pay this. He doesn't have to pay this because you would recall that when Dr. Hubert Minnis launched his campaign to become leader of the FNM, the only member of parliament and PLP member of parliament to show up at Christie Park for the rally and was invited to speak by the FNM was who? Leslie Miller. Well, Leslie ain't no fool, you know. He was my teacher. He taught me economics in 1974 when I was a student at C.C. Sweeting Senior High School. And Leslie's smart. And I'll show you how smart he is. And I'm going to tell you why you need not worry. If you know that if you borrow $25 or $26 million, but you will have difficulty paying it in the future, what do you do? If your friend and business partner is the then leader of the opposition and it looks like he's going to win, what do? You play crazy. You tell people you used to pot cake. Then you show up at the FNM rally and you do all the foolishness in the PLP to cause the PLP to lose and for Dr. Minnis to win. Well, take it from me. When Miller, and I stand to be corrected on this point because I didn't have a chance to confirm it with the former Prime Minister Hubert Alexander Ingram. So, I have to confirm it, but I can say it. If I'm correct, when Leslie Miller got the millions of dollars, who was the government? Was it Papa? And then when it was time for him to pay, who was Prime Minister? Was it who?
Perry Christie.
Perry Christie. Now there's a demand letter. Well, who is his business partner according to a source deep within the FNM? Hubert Minnis. So PLPs, do not worry about Leslie, because Dr. Minnis is going to take care of his boy. Remember? Leslie talked more sugarality. I've never seen nothing like that. He shows up, he speaks at the rally, he endorses Dr. Minnis, he predicts the PLP can lose, all kind. Now you know why. So Minnis, take care of Leslie. And I'll tell you something about Leslie Miller. His character, every prime minister, he was tight-read. When Little Hurricane was coming, next thing we know, Leslie grabbed truck, plywood, and end up in the White Grove, where Hubert Ingram lived, cutting down coconut limbs or whatever tree limb and nailing it up. And you know what Mr. Ingram did? He took good care of him. So, don't worry about Leslie, all right? He don't have to worry about the $28 million because they're all partners. It's a beautiful game between the FNM and certain PLPs, all right? So don't worry about Leslie. Leslie, get another $28 million, eh? Shucks. If I had done for Minnis what you did to sabotage the PLP, I too would go for $28 million.
Let me ask you a question.
What's that?
Senator, in all honesty, why are you calling out Leslie like that?
I call out Leslie Miller because he committed.
But he's not here to answer for himself.
He doesn't need to be here.
Yeah, but you shouldn't do that.
There is another Negro who works here.
Wow.
And whenever he needs to get on a show, he can go to the Negro Fella show. All right?
Wow.
So Leslie does not have to worry.
But I don't understand this. Bank of the Bahamas has been in financial crisis for a while because of bad loans. They are not in the position to write those loans off. Had they been, they would not come after those creditors who they loaned the money to.
We're not talking about those creditors. We're talking about the pot cake.
Yes, but
Leslie Miller.
I think you're doing injustice to the headlines.
No, I'm saving Leslie. I'm reminding Minnis, you can't let Leslie Miller lose that big building. Okay? He helped the FNM out, you know. He sabotaged the PLP.
What bank is in the position to write off $28 million?
Listen to me.
I don't know of any bank that's in that position.
Listen to me. Minnis is the bank. Okay? So I ran into some PLP this morning.
I don't know if that's responsible.
Who were upset. And I said to them, do not worry about Leslie Miller. Minnis will take care of him. Any more comments?
I don't, Mr. Moncur. I think you should correct that.
What should I say?
I mean, because understand the precedent that you're setting. When
Leslie can find $28 million.
Well,
where you can find $28 million?
I'll say this much. As a former banker, if I were to ever approach the bank to borrow $1 million, I must have some sort of collateral to satisfy that bank that I'll be able to pay that money back. There is something I would have to give the bank to satisfy them that I have the ways and the means of paying.
Give me an example of a bank that you would have to say that to. Give me a name of a bank.
First Caribbean.
Give it to me one more time.
First Caribbean.
Now, what bank did Leslie Miller approach?
He approached Bank of the Bahamas.
What bank is that?
It's a government bank.
What bank is that?
It's a government bank.
Don't ever forget it, eh? The rules of the government bank.
Is that bank setting a precedent that if you borrow money, you don't have to pay it back? Or if you are a politician and you approach the bank for a loan, that you don't have to pay the money? You understand where this headed, Mr. Moncur?
My spiritual
I don't know if that's
advisor, listen to the question. I ask you, what bank are you talking about? You say First Caribbean. Mm-hmm. First Caribbean is not a Negro bank.
Oh, yeah?
It is not a King George III Negro bank. Nor is it a blessed King George VI bank. It's a Negro bank.
I think you're sending the
wrong
rules.
Message. Check it. The rules are not consistent with international banking practices. Huh? It's a gravy train. All you need is to have the right kind of political contact, and you can get your little $25 million.
Do you understand how dangerous that is that you're saying?
What is so dangerous about it?
You can't do that. That's being irresponsible.
How is it being irresponsible? What is the fact?
Because you have political ties, you can approach a bank.
Anyway,
borrow money.
Watch and see.
Without responsibility of paying it back.
Watch and see. Menace. It's Leslie. Friend.
This is interesting.
Partner. And where Leslie can find $28 million to pay it back.
Wow.
Huh?
Wow.
This isn't First Caribbean. This is a Negro bank with Negro rules. It's called nepotism.
Buddy. And friend has nothing to do with paying back loans.
Really?
You have to pay them back.
You forget we sell $100 million worth of loans to one company there?
Yeah.
I just want the people.
It should not be that way. If it is that way, Mr. Moncur, it should not be.
Listen, it is the people's time. I don't want the rule changed.
This is why the young people are upset now with what's going on in the
country. We can't change the rule.
Yeah.
We can't change the rule because it is. What time is it?
It's the people's time.
What time is it?
It's the people's time.
Well, it's time.
Make no mistake about that.
It's time.
For the next 5 years.
It's time.
It's the people's time.
What time is it? Yeah. So don't worry about Leslie Miller. Menace will take care of him because he's been faithful. Goes to Christie Park, mount the podium. When he mounted that podium, you know how much millions would have been written off?
The now Prime Minister, the Right Honorable Hubert Alexander Menace, is going to surprise you, like he's always been doing.
And do what?
Let's have to pay that money back.
No.
Well, we'll see.
No, he doesn't.
Everyone that owes
Leslie,
the Bank of the Bahamas money will receive some sort of a summons from the bank.
And then
to pay before the court.
When you cannot pay
satisfy the court, how they're going to repay those bad loans.
He can't pay it.
Yeah.
And he's been faithful to Menace.
He got money worth.
It's one of Menace's toys, you know.
He got money worth.
I ain't talk yet.
How much does the bowling alley worth?
That maybe $1 million.
Or more.
No, man.
Yeah, man. I'm sure.
This is Freedom March. Do not worry about the $28 million that Leslie Miller is purported to own. It is a Negro bank. It is a bank where, if you are friendly with prime ministers, you can borrow big money and never pay it back. All right?
I think that's irresponsible.
You call it irresponsible.
Yeah.
They just sold $100 million worth of loans.
Yeah, bad loans.
All right?
Which they're going to go after.
Anyway, worry not about Leslie Miller. Leslie, listen, I'm praying for you that Menace will reward you for your political support and endorsement. This is Freedom March. My name is Rodney Moncur. We'll be right back after the break. Freedom March.
Freedom March with Rodney Moncur will be right back after this. The thoughts, views, and comments expressed by Rodney Moncur, his guests, callers, and advisors on Freedom March are not necessarily those of the management, ownership, or production unit of ILS, the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is a production of ILTV Studios and cannot be reproduced or represented in part or entirety without the express written consent of the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is the intellectual property of the Verizon Media Group. Copyright 2017. All rights are reserved.
Welcome back to Freedom March, broadcasting live here on ILTV in Nassau, Bahamas. We're also streaming live on www.iltvstudios.com, and I'm sharing it on my page, Rodney Moncur. Well, the punch is on my mind. And the punch is on my mind because in today's punch, decent, white Nikki Kelly, she has written an interesting article in response to the double standard position of our new Prime Minister, Dr. Hubert A. Menace. You would recall that Dr. Menace has been warning his cabinet members about avoiding the temptation and to be aware of conflict of interest and corruption. But Menace seems to have short memory, and it was good when a Negro gentleman drew to my attention what Menace was saying and how Nikki Kelly has demonstrated Menace's political dishonesty. So let's look at what Menace has said. I think Menace was in church yesterday. He should have come to the Catholic Church. But I hate churches that becomes too political doing sacred services. So I was extremely happy when I discovered that Monsignor Alfred Culmer had issued a statement in the Tribune, and Menace and them must he pick up and went to Cousin McVeigh. Now, Menace, as a member of the church, and I'm talking about the Roman Catholic Church, should be careful how they play politics. Because I am seeing F&M supporters in St. Joseph Church, where their politics almost become sacrilege, doing the most sacred part of the service. And those things disturb me. And I'm a man who tried to keep my tongue. And I prayed that Menace didn't come. I was so happy. But I understand that the invitation is really to him and his cabinet ministers. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But they should be careful how they play politics, because there are many people who are members of Christian denomination who becomes uncomfortable when the devil comes into the church playing safe. But what did Menace say to the ministers? He wants you to avoid corruption. He don't want you to find yourself in conflicts. And Menace is the conflict in chief, because he's threatening to fire ministers and or permanent secretaries if he were to catch them doing corruption. And Menace is the last man, because we have the corruption evidence on Menace. When Menace refused to divest himself of a contract. So how Menace has the moral authority, the Christian authority, the political authority to tell others what they should not do? So Nikki, who I always suspected was a saved woman, and I also suspected that although she looked white, that she was actually a Negro, because she had some wonderful Negro ways. And I always suspected that don't mind Nikki look white, she's a Negro. So let's look at my suspicion and what she had to say. She pointed out Menace's contradiction. She started off, and I'm going to jump, she talks about Dion Fowlkes. Dion Fowlkes, as you are aware, is a senator. And he is the minister of what, my spiritual advisor?
Labor.
He's the minister of labor.
Right, he's the minister of labor.
But Nikki pointed out that Dion Fowlkes, it is incomprehensible why, with 34 members of parliament to choose from, Dr. Menace should have decided to name Mr. Fowlkes to his cabinet, given the allegations levied against Dion Fowlkes during his previous stint as State Minister for Education. Dion, the doors, knob for the school used to cost like $38,000. Man, you can imagine if they was to give me a contract, right? They say, listen, we need a doorknob. And I turn around, dry eye, and say, listen, $38,000. And then they give you. And the doorknob only costs about, well, if I went to Rupert Roberts, Super Value, I could say to Rupert, although this costs like $40, this me, Moncur, give me it for, 20. And Rupert Roberts and Super Value, they would do that for me. So Dion them took $38,000 to buy a doorknob. But they said the PLP corrupt. So Nikki pointed that out, how that was a conflict. All right? I even ain't going no further than that. Let's run to the next Negro, although I must confess that Dion is a light-skinned Negro. Then she takes us to who? To Renwood Wells. It should have surprised no one that Mr. Wells was made a minister, as that was the carrot Dr. Minnis allegedly dangled before him and Dr. Andre Rollins. And of course, you know how Wells got caught up in what they call it. What
the
kind?
LOI, the letter of intent.
What? Pronounce that for me.
LOI, letter of intent.
Let's spell that.
Letter.
Capital L-E-T-T-E-R.
Of.
Capital O-F.
Intent.
I-N-T-E-N-T.
T.
You remember that? But Minnis said Welch was not safe. Welch was dishonest. He want an investigation. But now Welch is Minister of, what is he?
Agriculture and Fisheries.
And Welch never planted peas in his life. He don't know how to plant peas, corn, okra, onion, cassava. He don't know cassava if cassava was as big as Christ Church Cathedral.
Wow.
All right? So I wonder what he can be planting. What is he going to plant? And where will he plant it? I don't know. All right? So, Wells, then Brent Simonet. Now, the sin that Brent Simonet committed at the airport. Let's look at what Brent has done. And you think Minnis, who divest from the contract from 2007, he was supposed to divest. He ain't divest yet. And he could tell Brent about corruption. He can't tell Brent about corruption because Brent was practicing it during the time that Minnis was practicing his own. So what he can tell Brent? All right, so let's look at what Nikki said. She's talking about Brent Simonet as an F&M supporter from the party's formative years. Mr. Simonet has played a pivotal role with mixed results. Although he did not contest the 1992 general election, he was named Minister of Tourism following the F&M's victory. He relinquished that post in 1995 without explanation, and later that year became Attorney General when his predecessor, Sir Orville Turnquest, was appointed Governor General following the F&M's re-election in 1997. Mr. Simonet was named Chairman of the Airport Authority, but resigned in 2001 after awarding a contract to a company in which he held shares without consulting his board. He did it, he said, to save the government $300,000. Now you may want to know where Brent inherited that from. But the late Paul Lawrence Adderley showed me the government budgets from the 50s right into the 60s, where Brent Daddy, man, he was good. Brent Daddy was the premier. And every year in the budget, he set aside his contract. Now the difference between him and Brent, he used to have his contract approved by the parliament. Paul Adderley showed it to me, the budget. So now we know where Brent got that piece of sin from. So what Minnis can tell him? But don't forget now, because Brent is a Conky Joe, Minnis don't regard that as serious corruption, because Minnis is guilty of a similar sin. All right? Nikki pointed out. But Minnis say he ain't want nobody to get involved in any conflict. So let's look at the next one. She goes to Dr. Hubert Minnis and the new Minister of Youth, Michael Pentard. And this is what Nikki said about them. Okay? Both men are inextricably linked. Minnis and Michael, they are joined to the hips. They're Siamese. Siamese twin. They don't hustle without the other. Where he got that from? Hubert Alexander Ingram, the former prime minister. He said to me, Toogie wasn't going to kill, Bobo wasn't going to kill, Bobo, Toogie, Michael Pentard, and Dr. Hubert Minnis. They were con artists. They were hustlers. Papa, if I'm lying on you, denounce me. That's what Ingram told me. All right? Said that nobody was going to get killed. All right? So, Nikki Kelly, this is what she says about Minnis and Michael. Mike Minnis, who is telling members of parliament, ministers, and permanent secretary, my spiritual advisor, that they must not get involved in corruption.
Which is a good thing.
But Minnis is corruption in chief.
Those are strong words.
Indeed they are.
Mr. Moncur, and then you need proof to be doing these kind of things. Dr. Hubert Minnis is now the prime minister's country. You realize that, right?
As prime minister of the country.
You need evidence that was suggested.
But we have it.
Where's the evidence?
The evidence is Minnis has acknowledged that he has a contract, notwithstanding the fact that the Right Honorable Hubert Alexander Ingram told him to divest.
Okay, that's years ago, though.
But the principle, if you broke the law years ago, it's still broke today.
You can't pay retribution and be forgiven.
My spiritual advisor, stop this, because you obviously ain't saved.
Why you say that?
You see contract.
No,
Listen, my contract come from Jesus. I don't need no contract. Come on, don't compromise on principle.
No, I'm just telling you.
For the righteous shall never beg bread.
Absolutely. Never forsaken, as a matter of fact.
Don't talk no nonsense.
Yeah, never forsaken.
So listen to what Nikki say. Nikki Kelly, she look white, but she's a Negro. And this is what she say. She said that Michael and Minnis are linked, not through criminal intent, but rather poor judgment, to the infamous Toogie and Bobo. Why? Y'all want down Toogie and Bobo, Michael and Minnis. What required to set the right example for Toogie and Bobo? Michael older than Toogie. Michael older than Bobo. Minnis is older than Toogie and Bobo. In fact, Minnis is old enough to be their uncle. But Nikki want down Toogie and Bobo. When Toogie and Bobo and the Prime Minister, who's now Prime Minister, and Michael Pentard, who's now the Minister of Youth, they were working together. They were working together. All right? But Nikki is prepared to say Toogie and Bobo. What about Minnis? Minnis was the leader. Huh? So how Minnis could talk? In this cabinet, everybody could justify a little corruption.
Ah, no, you can't.
Yes, they can. The leader did it. And look how things work out. Minnis got involved, and the people rewarded him. You see how corruption could work for you? Everybody told me, listen, Minnis smart. Yeah, he's smart. Only here in the Bahamas, among a slave descendants, can this piece of corruption take place, and there's no political retribution. So Nikki points it out, all right? And she says, let me read it. The two ex-cons. Now, I don't know why they call him Toogie and Bobo ex-cons. Because to the best of my knowledge, I could be wrong. Let me go into Haitian Creole.
Why?
Because Bobo speaks Haitian Creole better than me. Bobo, est-ce que have you li read punch la, the punch? Parce que yon femme blanc écrit bagay, li rele nou, criminal. Ma pa kone si ou se criminal. I asked him to get the punch. Li sa a, read it. Parce que, because yon femme la blanc, a white woman, écrit, wrote, nous c'est criminal. Mi pa kone sa. Mi pa kone sa. Ma beswe nou. Pa jomblier. Pa jomblier. Don't you ever forget what I've just said. All right? And so, what is the point that I'm making? Menace can't talk about practicing non-conflict of interest because he's been rewarded. Ingram didn't fire him only because I suspect that Papa may still be safe. That I've not cursed out Papa and say, Papa, what you mean? How come? You fire Brent, but you didn't fire Menace. All right? So we're building a case to show that Menace, Pale, and Bill Bagay Sa. All right? So my spiritual advisor, here we have it, where she's able to show how the circumstances surrounding Mr. Pintard's discovery of the plot and Dr. Menace's fishy attempt to protect him ultimately degenerated into a comedy of errors that resulted in Mr. Pintard having to resign his senatorial seat. And he has now been rehabilitated as the Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture. Can you imagine? As Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture, with the political protection, he can organize all kind of gangster young people. You can imagine that? I could see him. Come, you look just like Togi. And I believe you might be pardon-moi pour dire ça en anglais. And you might be a stupid. Pardon-moi, Bobo, ma pa connais ça.
Wow. I don't,
Okay?
you know, I don't know if you're being
So,
fair.
my spiritual advisor, what are the facts?
Well,
Michael has not confessed. He's not asked Jesus for forgiveness.
yeah, but how do you know that?
I know him. Nor has he asked the Bahamian people. But the Bahamian people, with their corrupt self, y'all is nothing but a bunch of corrupt Negroes. Because that's what y'all do. Y'all reward corruption. And so here we got Nikki pointed it out. All because Menace is here in the Bahama Journal talking about a word temptation. How come Menace couldn't? And in the case of young people who have more, what is the sex hormone called?
Estrogen?
Is estrogen?
No.
Well, let's forget that
No,
sentence.
no, sorry about that.
Goodness me.
I don't know. That's
All right?
on my mind.
But Menace, I could see if Menace was young people might be more engaged to do that which is wrong. But Menace is an old man. He can't talk. Huh? His cabinet. And then finally, for y'all, go get the punch. All right? Why don't y'all buy one and share it? Listen to what she say about the Nuncio de Aguilar. As a former Bahama board member under Mr. Esmerillion, de Aguilar has consistently promoted his cause. Therefore, as Minister of Tourism, he now faces the same potential conflict in his relations with the resort's Chinese owners. Like Dr. Menace, he would be well advised to treat carefully for the same reason cited above. Well, the Chinese knew how to deal with the Nuncio de Aguilar. They got good China brush, and they brushed his name off. So you see, Menace is a hypocrite, and somebody has to say it. How the heck he could be saying these kind of things when he's guilty? Hubert Ingram ain't do nothing to him. Papa, I'm suspicious. I'm suspicious. So, my spiritual advisor.
Yes, it is either testosterone, or estrogen. Yeah.
Well, I hope it ain't yeast. All right? So here we have major conflict. And that is why I'm saying to PLPs, you have to rise up. Because we have to respond to the gangsters now in charge of our country.
But Mr. Monk, in all fairness though, you have not given this a chance.
What a chance.
Here it is that the actual house is not going to be until, is it Wednesday coming? Yes.
Is it Wednesday?
Yes, Wednesday coming.
So what you want me to do?
So what we have to do, we have to allow the now present government its opportunity to govern the country.
Am I outside? Am I outside government house with my placard?
No, but you're being...
I'm not going to the opening.
But you're being unfair to the candidates.
How am I being
not
unfair?
Been able to
My
sit in their
God.
seats and run
It ain't me.
their ministries as yet.
It ain't me. It is a decent white woman named Nikki. Nikki is pointing out the Negro conflict in our government. Ministers can't talk. How the heck ministers can talk? Brent Sumner can't talk. Diagula can't talk.
All those are past sins. Hey, Mr. Moncur,
No!
they're past sins, man. We all have sinned.
But let's test it. Let's test it. Did the police arrest Dr. Menace?
No.
Did they arrest Diagula?
No.
Did they pick up what the Negro man named who write this ILO?
Oh, Renard Wells.
Was Renwood arrested?
No.
Did they squeeze his testicle?
So you're saying this is...
Answer my question.
No.
Huh?
No.
What about Diagula?
So what's your point?
The point that I make is that calls for an investigation. And I call on CID to arrest them the same way you know arrest that man. What the man named they arrested?
They did not arrest them.
What is the name of the man that they arrested?
That's Dion Smith.
Dion Smith. What you mean they arrested?
Didn't he turn himself in with
Listen,
Ray Monroe?
whenever the police does not allow you to freely leave the way you freely came in.
All right, you've been arrested. Okay.
Take it from me. I'm the justice of the peace in here, you know. He's been arrested.
But this is...
And I'm angry. And I call on PLPs to also say, wherever y'all are, we are angry as hell.
Now I see where you go.
For what they did to Dion. I'm angry. I'm offended that a deputy speaker, former, in the government of the Bahamas could be arrested without credible evidence. I'm angry, and I'm angry as hell, and y'all suck my big toe.
Be careful. You're going overboard now.
No,
in my
suck
opinion.
my toe. That's how angry I am. All right? My big toe, when it have toe jam on it.
Wow.
All right?
Wow.
I'm angry because it ain't supposed to happen. All right? Ministers carrying out a witch hunt and then get up in the church like Ananias and Sapphira to say it ain't no witch hunt. Tout le monde haïtien, ou connaît, fiat lalo. Ministres, gardez pour fiat lalo. Fiat lalo. Fiat lalo. It's a witch hunt. And I wanted to stop. And I don't like what y'all did. You hear me? I don't like it. I want y'all to know I don't like it. I want y'all to know that I'm angry. And I say, suck my big toe. Suck my big toe. What is suck in Haitian Creole? I have to remember.
Give the government a chance, man.
I'm not interfering with the government. I want the government to stop it.
It's only been 2 weeks.
I want them to stop it. This is no way to govern. Huh? Gone to the BAIC. Arrest all them Negro people with heavy machine guns.
Well, there was cause, eh? It seems as if something criminal had happened. So.
Listen, the permanent secretary did an inventory confirming there was nothing. But the FNM suspect that the permanent secretary is a PLP. You hear me? I wanted to stop.
There was something because some items was
Marvin
returned.
James, I want you to stop it before I curse you. You hear me? Stop it.
You're going to turn on Marvin now?
Yes, because Marvin...
But that's your friend.
Marvin is not my friend. My friend are those who do the things that are righteous and just. Okay? I wanted to stop. Marvin, I'm angry. I'm hurt. I am hurt. I feel it. Lock up a deputy
Speaker
of the Honorable House of Assembly. My name is Rodney Moncur. I call on PLPs to resist peacefully and let us get ready for Labor Day because there is a pain that I'm feeling. I don't like what they did to them workers. Y'all only do that because they black, and y'all only lock up Dion because he black. You know, I know y'all don't like black people between the black cell. This is Freedom March. The forces of evil must be turned back. I am angry over what they did, and y'all suck my big toe with toe jam on it. This is Freedom March. Where's Spain Monroe? Where is Spain Monroe? Because I'm ready to go to court. Court, court, court.
Freedom March with Rodney Moncur will be right back after this. This is Freedom March with Rodney Moncur.
Welcome back to Freedom March, broadcasting live on ILTV here in Nassau, Bahamas. My name is Rodney Moncur, and I'm a Justice of the Peace here in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. I welcome the many people who have joined me and is watching us on Facebook. I have with me attorney at law, Mr. Wayne R. Monroe, QC. Mr. Monroe, welcome to Freedom March.
Thank you, Senator Moncur. These are well-appointed digs you have here. First time I'm here.
Wow. Well, listen, you are the only Negro attorney that I shall allow to come whenever the Spirit moves you. Because the Spirit is moving me. And I want the world to know I am angry over what has happened to a former Deputy Speaker of the Honorable House of Assembly when he has committed no crime. Mr. Monroe, first of all, one more time, welcome to Freedom March. And of course, you are the attorney for the former Deputy Speaker and the former Member of Parliament for Nassau Village, Mr. Dion Smith. Am I correct?
Yes, and the present chairman of BAIC.
And the present chairman of BAIC. Talking about that, FNMs are under the impression that on the night of the election, that his office became vacated. And I think, are they right?
No, and you had people talking about when the House was dissolved, that ministers lost their authority, as if the act of dissolving the House brought everything to a close, and as if government didn't function beyond there. And ministers are appointed until they're replaced. Chairmen of boards are appointed either by the Governor General or the minister for the term of their appointment or until they are revoked. Because if you stop and think about it, government must be continuous. So there must always be a chairman, deputy chairman of BAIC. There must always be a chairman of all of these boards. And so how it works, I heard one of your famous journalists saying that people are supposed to resign. That's not how it works. How it works is when the government comes in, when they decide that they don't want Rodney Moncur as chairman anymore, the minister revokes, or you go to the Governor General and say revoke his appointment and appoint this person, so there is no gap in the office.
My understanding is that the former Deputy Speaker, Dion Smith, appointment as chairman of BAIC, assuming he does not resign or is fired, would last until the 30th of June 2017. Don't hold me to it, but that's my understanding.
Yeah. Right? And what happens is it is irresponsible to resign a position unless you know it's going to be filled. Let's say that all the board members of BAIC resign. That means BAIC cannot do a thing until other people are appointed. If you talk about the Airport Authority, which is another authority of the Bahamas Air Board, you could have chaos if you have persons, statutory bodies, with nobody at their helm. And so it has to be understood that a government who claims to be ready to take power should have, all right, when we take power, these are the people who we will appoint, and we will say to the Governor General, revoke these appointments and make these ones in their place.
What is the allegation? What is going on? What is this witch hunt that has me so angry that I want the F&M to suck my big toe when it has jam on it? God forgive me. God forgive me, because that might not be a kind thing to say to members of my party. But y'all suck my toe with your mean, no good slave self. What is it?
I mean, for a moment, forget what the allegation is, right? What I witnessed when I went to BAIC is I walk in the door, I see a policeman sitting on the sofa with an assault rifle.
Really?
An assault rifle.
Which criminals were there?
Well, I saw the police on the sofa with an assault rifle, a bunch of big policemen with guns. So when I walk in, I saw some of the workers there and the general manager. I said, wow, y'all get a bunch of gun in there for the police to be coming up here with all of this firepower. And so there are a number of things that are just not right about it. Regardless of if there is an allegation of stealing, and there is no allegation of stealing of any funds, why go there with assault rifles and all of these weapons? In all of my entire career, I've never seen that response to an allegation of a white-collar crime. That usually is a response to when you think somebody has guns, somebody is dangerous, somebody may fire on the police, but to take assault rifles in response to a white-collar crime just tells you what the person's doing it intent is, and it has nothing to do with law enforcement.
We can understand if they say that there is a body found. They found somebody, the person is dead, they believe it's murder, the person was shot, the police would have been justified in going armed.
It's when you see the bolos and they say armed and considered dangerous, then you could expect that. But when you see that, you see exactly what it's about, and I'm afraid, what our government is becoming to be about, and it's about form over substance. So let's make it look as if we are doing something. Big guns, plenty guns. These are dangerous people who we're accusing of moving a TV, a CPU, and some files, which we change it later. What we say is moved, which 2 days later we say something completely different.
So ain't TV no more?
Yeah, it's still TV, although all the TV is still there. So
their TV is still there. The government TV is still there.
As far as I know.
Wow.
But the whole thing is, why do that other than, as the older people would say, for show? So all of it appears to be, let us say that we are doing something aggressive, let you be able to say that we are on the job, we are doing this, just like we told you that these fellas are thief the VAT, and then we come and say they ain't thief the VAT.
Could it be then that the F&M might be angry, still believing their election lies, that millions of dollars in VAT money has been stolen? And if you recall, on the night of the F&M victory, Dr. Minutes promised to go after those who have broken the law.
Except that the chairman of the F&M helpfully came out and said, we always knew that no VAT money was stolen.
It's horrible.
And then the Attorney General, where they had flogged to say, oh, you should just expose the Barmart deal, comes out and says, well, you know what, the government didn't seal the deal, so I can't give you the documents.
Well, I was always suspicious of the Attorney General because many years ago, he and I got into a row and I accused him of not knowing the law. You said I have a caller? Let's take the caller. Let me take the caller. Welcome to Freedom Match.
Good afternoon.
How are you and what is on your mind?
I am great. Good afternoon to your guests as well.
Good afternoon.
I just want to say a few things on the BAIC investigation.
Yes.
One it is the fear of crime is high in the country, whether it's white collar, black collar, purple collar, whatever collar. The police has all the right to go to investigate any such allegations or whatever the case may be, because they don't know who they're dealing with. They have to do their jobs.
But let me ask you something. Let me stop you right there.
Let me finish my point.
Hold on a second. Who is chairman of BAIC? And did the chairman lodge a complaint?
Listen.
You heard what I'm saying?
Any allegation made by anyone in anything, whether it's white, blue, purple, red, or green, if there's an allegation made by anyone, the police has to go and investigate. You can imagine the police going to investigate any kind of allegation, go with no weapons, just go to do their job.
At BAIC.
And what?
And then all of a sudden they start throwing cassava and onion and yam at the police.
I'll put it like this to the caller. Most
should not do their job.
No, most of the police have sidearms. And contrary to what you are saying, there is a price to pay if you traumatize people with assault rifles. And that price is paid out of the public treasury. I've been doing this from 1990, and I've taken quite a bit of money out of the public treasury because people don't understand that there is laws that dictate how you do what you do.
Mr. Monroe, I don't think you understand yourself sometimes because you were the one on a national stage and you said something very derogatory to the Bahamian people, which was very disrespectful. I have yet to hear you apologize for that.
Well, what exactly did I say? No, what exactly did I say?
What did he say?
I'm making it.
What exactly did I say? Because I've heard a lot of people talk about what I say. None of whom watched the actual tape.
I got a clip of the video on my phone. I wish I could WhatsApp it to show the nation.
Did you watch the entire thing?
I watched you live.
Now, did you watch the entire thing?
But
I'm a lawyer.
What did he say? What did he say? Is it a dirty word?
Tell these other people to walk fast and kiss her, and then you slap your backside.
No, well, you don't even have it in the right context. That's a little bit better than my opponent now describing something as bull crap.
Those are the exact words that you said, and you are a lawyer. You could go and do your homework. You're very good. You know that.
Go back to Dion.
Making your point.
Go back to Dion.
No citizen, lawyer, or either parliamentarian could tell or dictate to the police when they should not carry gun on any investigation.
Yeah, you could dictate to the police.
No, you can't.
The same way the FNM has dictated to them and what they did. I don't know how old you is, but I can tell you goodbye before I have to curse you out. All right? How old am I now?
Well, it's not a matter of being 60. It's a matter of every day I smile at people making assertions as to what the law is. That if they were to go on a site called Bailey.org, which has all of the authorities from the English Supreme Court, our Privy Council, and simply do a search about these things, they would see how wrong they are as a matter of law. The law is that every detention is prima facie tortious and has to be justified by the person doing it. Every continuation in custody likewise has to be justified. And this is a position, as I say, I've been taking this up from 1990. When I first started, the PLP was in power for 2 years. Then the FNM came in power for 10 years. Then the PLP came in power for 5 years. The FNM came in power for 5 years. Then the PLP lastly for 5 years. And I've been suing the government for the full term of my 27 years at the bar. And some of the behavior has changed and some hasn't. And for members of the public to believe that the state can do whatever it wishes to do is just wrong and doesn't seem to come to grips with the constitutional rights.
Well, I'm going to advance a political argument. The police itself should have been very careful, taking into consideration that the campaign of the FNM was full of lies. The FNM accused the PLP of sealing the Bahama agreement. Then the Attorney General, Carl Bettel, comes back and say, no, it ain't the PLP, it's the court. Then the FNM say the PLP thief all the VAT money. And then the Minister of Finance and the chairman of the FNM, they came back and say, that ain't true. So the police knew it was dealing with a lying party. And a bunch of liars took it over. Just hold on for a second. Hold that caller for a second because I just got a spiritual link with Sidney Colley wife. Mavis Letiusma, yon garçon dit, tout Judea Sidney garde télévision pour Freedom Mars. Expliquez Sidney, et stop it. Parce que s'il pas stoppé, ma bat akli. C'est pas traite là, but même pas joué. I had to tell Sydney Colley's wife something secret. I told her, I understand
in
Sydney.
front of everybody.
Yeah, I told her I heard that Sydney is watching me and tell Sydney I don't play. Or me and him can fight. But that's not a threat. Welcome to Freedom Match.
God save the Queen, Senator.
God save the Queen and make Dame Margaret read the government speech from the throne.
Well, she's still sitting in. It's 2 days away, and if they can do something, they got to do it fast. Now, Senator.
Yes.
It's the people's time.
It is the people's time.
Let not your heart be troubled. And the one thing we sure about this time, the VAT money will not go into the consolidated funds. We will be able to know where it is and where it's going.
But I don't trust them who keeping it.
Well, it's the people's time.
Well, let me ask you,
Now,
where is it going?
Where it going?
Yeah.
No, they can tell us. The PLP couldn't tell us so.
No, the PLP told you, the FNM told you it was stolen during the campaign, and now they've come back and said it wasn't.
No, well, Mr. Monroe, I always believe the truth is somewhere in the middle. That's where the money, what money God speech, to be that, come on, that was garbage. But I also believe it was garbage when the FNM was saying it was stolen out of the Treasury. So I'm saying the truth is somewhere in the middle. Now, Senator Moncur.
Sir.
I would go out on a limb and say I would speak for quite a few people to say to you, I'm glad you were in the Senate. I never watched the Senate before you. And since you are out, I don't see no time soon I can be watching the Senate, sir. I thank you for your service, but the Senate is a drag, it's a bore now, so, you know, it no sense me tuning in.
I thank you for those kind words, but before you leave me, you must join me and the PLP on Labor Day. Okay? So, how is this case progressing? How many days did Mr. Smith spend in custody?
Only overnight.
Overnight. So he was taken into custody, what, that Thursday?
Yes.
And he spent a night.
Yes, and all but one of the employees also were overnighted, which is a separate thing about you may well arrest somebody, but the question is, can you justify keeping them overnight?
And I would think, what do they need to hold him overnight for? Could they not say, can you come back tomorrow?
Well, you generally hold somebody overnight if you think that they're going to run away.
Okay.
But the people who you hold overnight because you think they're going to run away, you also usually charge right after holding them and send them to court. So there are issues that are perplexing. Who made the complaint? Exactly. What is the term of it? The things like that the police keep to their chest unless and until they have to expose it. But the point that people need to understand is it doesn't matter who is the government. Every government is accountable. This government says that it will be accountable. So I suspect that very shortly we will be told who has made this complaint and given all the details, because the head of this government his job is going to be accountability, apparently. He isn't going to run any ministry himself. He is going to ensure that all of them are accountable and transparent and all of that good stuff.
And he would be moving between ministries.
Well, he wouldn't have a ministry, but he'll have them all in a way.
Right. So essentially, has he checked in at the Ministry of National Security?
Well, I don't know. I've been busy getting back to what I have to get back to, so I'm not sure what he's been doing.
Well, I want to warn the FNM, if they're going to keep this practice, then when the government change, I say you charge some of them. You know, you lock up Carl. You lock up Dion. You lock... it's just a bunch of nonsense.
Well, that is why I say it's a very dangerous precedent to start, because what happens is the next time the government changes, some people have long memories and they want reciprocation. And if something can happen without any apparent reason, when you are in the chair, something can happen without any apparent reason when you're out of the chair. which is why you always have to be very careful about what you do, because it does set a precedent.
And you're right, because last night I happened to go to Arawak Key and I ran into a Christian man. When I left Arawak Key, I knew he was no longer saved. He said, what am I complaining about? The F&M is living up to their promise. He said, can't you see all the VIPs corrupt? So we're going to lock them up. Right?
Well, I keep telling people.
I mean, it's amazing.
No, but it's a people's time, so I'm waiting for that to be repealed. I'm waiting for all web shops to be closed. I'm waiting for the Barma deal just to be thrown out there. I'm waiting for Barma to be sold. I'm waiting for all of those things we the people were promised. And I think I have somebody who's gone and watched all of their rallies, right? And I have a list of all of the things that they promised.
You don't think ministers can live up to it?
Well, he believes in accountability, transparency, and a lack of corruption. So unless they say they lie to the Bahamian people, I expect all of those things to happen.
I think ministers going to take back Bahama. Sarkis is going to show him and the Aguilar. But I would have thought that if something was lawfully sold, you can't just take it back, eh?
Well, I don't know. I have yet to see. And driving here, I listened to all of your exposition of the Caucasian woman's exposition of their conflicts of interest. I expect that they will be addressed by the Prime Minister, who is for accountability.
But he's not serious. Papa couldn't get him. When he saw that juicy $7,500, notwithstanding that he's a member, because the Roman Catholic Church is interesting, right? When I joined the church, I decided I only can pray and go home. But I'm saying some things that has me disturbed. I know if there's one Catholic who ain't saved, is Dr. Hubert Minnis. Welcome to Freedom March. Hello? The person gone? Hello?
Oh, hi, good evening, Senator. How are you doing?
I am fine. What's on your mind, my dear?
And you look so nice in your coat suit. You have on all your clothes today.
And they start paying me yet. You can imagine when they pay me.
Man, tell them to start paying you so you could, get some more attire.
Yeah, Brother Jacques and his wife buy this. They say they tired seeing me on TV in my revolutionary shirt.
Oh, that's so nice of them.
Yeah, I just hope they don't be like Henry Bosbeck.
Oh, Lord.
Henry Bosbeck, give me some old clothes, and I live that down.
Oh, that was not, he should not have done that. That was not nice.
All over the place. I
don't want to take it even to Mr. Vane Monroe.
Good evening.
What's on your mind, sister?
Yeah, I am agreeing with Mr. Vane Monroe. Like the Prime Minister said, he's going to close down all the web shops. He is going to get rid of the Bahama and some other stuff. What he said he wanted to do, well, we needed to hold him to these things because that's what he said he was going to do. Now, I want to know or wait to see if he is going to carry out these things he was saying on his political campaign. I wait to see Bahama supposed to get closed down. He's supposed to do something with the number houses before they're going to close them down. And whatever else he said he's going to close down. I am waiting to see he closed down these number houses. He said he's going to close down Bahama and Bamsey and all the other rest of stuff. I am waiting to see. And like Mr. Vane Monroe said, he too waiting to see. I waiting to see too, Mr. Monroe, if he's going to carry out his wishes.
I thank you. The
Good
clock
evening.
is running out. It's a wonderful Negro lady. Listen, ministers don't speak the truth. You have to be careful. He and I both belong to the Roman Catholic Church. And he is not a man of his word. I'm a Catholic. He's a Catholic. He professed Jesus Christ. I profess Jesus Christ. And you mean to tell me, two brothers of the same Christian denomination, and he lied. I say, liar, liar, your pants on fire with the torch. And I'm a straightforward man.
Well,
you know, he don't speak the truth.
Well, Senator, I hope he doesn't, because only a madman could talk about putting the thousands of people out of jobs that would happen if you were to close the web shops. Only a madman would talk about indebting the Bahamas government to billions of dollars to sell a private entity. And when you examine a lot of what they say they were going to do, in retrospect, the Bahamian people ought to have realized that you couldn't really count on it. But, you know, they're the ones who are talking about all of this, sticking to their word. So I think, you know, we really need to hold them to it. And everyone can go on their website and watch it.
This is Freedom March. Dr. Menace, you better stop this witch hunt. In Haitian Creole, we call witch Fiat Lalo. Stop Fiat Lalo. This is Freedom March. My special guest is Wayne Monroe. We will be right back in a minute.
Do you have something to say to the Senator? Call Freedom March at 323-7775. Toll free from anywhere in the Bahamas at 242-300-0045. Freedom March with Rodney Moncur, only on ILTV. This is Freedom March with Rodney Moncur.
Welcome back to Freedom March, broadcasting live here in Nassau, Bahamas on ILTV. You can join me on Facebook by going to my Facebook page, Rodney Moncur. I'm sharing ILTV Studios Facebook page on my Facebook page. My special guest for the last hour is noted attorney at law, Wayne Monroe, QC. Mr. Monroe, I thank you for being here and welcome once again. I am understanding that the board members of BAIC is comprised of the chairman, that is the former deputy speaker, Dion Smith, the deputy chairman, Clay Sweeting, and Miss Laura Williams, and perhaps two other citizens. Certainly, have you spoken to Clay Smith, Miss Laura Williams, and the other two members of the board to find out if they lodge a complaint? Since the chairman is not aware, could others, do you think these other members of the board would have lodged? I'm not trying to be jokey, but...
No, it's technically possible, but having spoken to two of them, there was no board meeting ahead of this.
Okay.
And so that's a fact. As I say, the police do their investigation. They say they're still doing it.
But somebody must complain.
Yeah.
There must be a complainant.
We're still doing ours to find out exactly who this is, how this came about, and since we're in this new time, to make sure that if it's not been done properly, that we expose to the Prime Minister immediately who has acted improperly so that he can deal with it.
Okay. I am told that I have a caller. Welcome to Freedom March.
Good afternoon, Mr. Moncur. How do you do?
I am fine, my sister. How are you?
I'm great. And to your guest, Mr. Wayne Monroe, so how do you do?
I'm great.
Good. Okay, I'm sitting down listening to your show, which is very impressive.
Well, I thank you.
Listening to what you all are saying this afternoon are some of the things that the FNM promised. And one of those things, he had promised to the young people that he would send them into the university free. Now, when the young people go to him and said, now we are ready to go into the university because you said we will go into the university free, what would he tell the young people?
No, they shouldn't go to him. They should go to the University of the Bahamas.
I will
and
sit back and I will listen to that response.
Go ahead.
Well, you know, Senator, I would say I would advise them, since the Prime Minister, who is the top dog in the country, has said that university education is free, and Mr. Jeffrey Lloyd, who is a man of his word, that they should register for classes, and then when they're asked to pay, tell them,
if you'd like to make a call,
tell the people, go and speak to the Prime Minister, the Minister of Education. They have this covered for us.
Yes.
Because I cannot believe that you are going to represent that university education would be free and then not do it.
And in fairness to Dr. Menace, I think that is a powerful and revolutionary position. I always believe that education should be free to university.
Well, and then the next issue is it limited to UB or it's anywhere you want to be? Remember now when the PLP first came to power, the black middle class was created by Sir Cecil Wallace Whitfield, Sir Lyndon Pinlin saying if you could get into a school, the government would pay for it.
Yes, that is true.
And so if we've gone back to 67, 68, where the position of the Bahamas government now is if you can get into university, we will pay for it, that would be very refreshing.
Yes, but I really think that Dr. Menace meant specifically the University of the Bahamas. And so based on that, thousands of our young people who are qualified should immediately enroll. And I'm certain that the president...
It should include BAMSI and BTVI as well.
Well, but if you're talking about universal education, it should include. And Rodney Smith, who is a president, he has tasted in the past the wrath, the political wrath of the F&M Action Group. So he would know that once people show up, he should start registering them because Fred Williams and Oswald Marshall and them, they're right there ready to jump on him again.
Well, I mean, unless these were untruths, then the young people of this country have a right to feel, and their parents, that so long as my child is going to UB,
yes,
BAMSI, or BTVI, I ought not to be concerned any further with payment for it and budget those monies elsewhere.
What time is it?
It's the people's time, man.
Amen.
It's the people's time for free university education at UB.
Yes. Welcome to Freedom Match. Next caller. Welcome to Freedom Match.
Moncur.
Sir. I can hear you speak.
Yes, good day, Mr. Moncur.
All right, sir. Go ahead, talk to us.
And good day to your guest, Mr. Monroe.
Good day.
Don't listen to your voice. Talk to us.
I just want to comment on the education situation you guys were just talking about.
Yes.
I was in Trinidad from 90 to 95, and before I left Trinidad College, the government of Trinidad was giving their students education up to college level free of charge. Now, what they did, the students went and studied, and the colleges were paid, like at the end of the year from the government. I know Barbados has a similar thing. So I'm saying these things were happening in the Caribbean long time ago. We who are supposed to have, a better economy than most of the other Caribbean islands, I don't see why we haven't done that as yet.
But it wasn't the people's time then. It's the people's time now. Okay? I got two more callers. Thank you for calling.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Welcome
yes,
to.
Sir. Okay.
Okay. Welcome to Freedom March. Hello. Speak to me. Don't listen to the echo. Speak to me.
Hello.
Sir. Talk to me.
Mr. Moncur.
Sir.
Good afternoon. How you doing, you and Mr. Monroe?
We're fine.
That's good. Mr. Monroe, you okay, sir?
I'm great.
That's good, sir. That's your old colleague. But anyhow, Mr. Monroe, I want to let you know a lot about the black history and everything, but I want to let you know one thing. Mr. Ingham never got rid of Mr. Simonet because he had a black man to run the F&M, and the black people in the Bahamas will never vote for Simonet to be a prime minister. So they're always living back in the history of black days and slavery days. So they'll never vote. Now, I know you're always wondering why he got rid of Simonet, never got rid of Menace, but that's the reason why. Number one. I can hang up a minute. I need a couple of minutes to call Mr. Monroe when he finished the show. Number two, I don't know why all this education we doing for the students over here. You go to college, you spend all your money to go to college, you come out to the Bahamas, you can't get a job. You can't even find a decent job. You know what I mean? It really will make no sense for people to be putting all their children in the college all around the world and can't get a good, decent job to make the money what you spend
for the children up. They even get a good, decent job when they come up. You got to go to the gas station, be manager, or do other things. Then a man on the road who drive a truck ahead or drive a truck or something can make more money than someone who be in the college, spend $80,000, $90,000 and make more money than them.
We hear what you
right,
say,
so
but it's the people's time. Thank you very much, eh? I have a text that I must read before I get into any more calls. Good afternoon, Senator. What an awesome show. I am the Defense Force Marine who met you at the lawyer's office sometime last month. I am at the U.S. Naval Base in Guantanamo Bay, Cuba, listening to your show. God save the Queen. I thank you for listening to us from Guantanamo Bay, and I thank you for saluting Her Majesty. And on behalf of Her Majesty, I say, God save President Trump. And may he reign in America for 8 years. It's my favorite president. I believe he's safe.
You giving him another 4?
Yeah, I think he's a good man.
Okay.
Welcome to Freedom March. Do I have a person on the call? On the phone? Hello?
Hello, Mr. Moncur.
Yes.
You're having such a wonderful show today. Me, my husband, and my daughter, we are enjoying this. And we want to say thanks to Mr. Wayne Monroe for coming to your show, because I thought he was in the show. But anyhow, like they say, it's the people time, and I wait on all the promises what they make, too. I am waiting patiently. It's the people's time.
Don't you
what
ever.
What they get, they deserve.
Don't forever.
They ain't get it. Ain't good. Like the old people say, it coming.
Yes.
Ain't going to come in.
What time is it?
The people's time.
What time is it?
The people's time.
And you can spell time? Help me. Let's spell time. Time.
Yes.
T-I-M-E. Time.
T-I-M-E. Yes. T-H-Y-M-E.
Yes. And listen.
Okay.
Labor Day. Bring your husband and the children
my
down.
daughter. We'll be there.
And look for brand new PLP shirt, eh?
Yes, we have that. I had wash all.
Because
all I know.
PLP.
All the way.
PLP.
All the way.
Lord have mercy. How I get a PLP? And I'm red. Welcome to Freedom March.
Hi, Mr. Moncur and Mr. Monroe. Good evening.
Evening.
I'd like to clarify one thing on that free University of the Bahamas education. My daughter attended the College of the Bahamas, and she got free education back, and she graduated in 1992.
Okay.
And she's a teacher. So is it going to be free education for whatever you want to do? Because they have a program now where you attend school, nurses or teachers, and when you come out, you work for government. So what is this all about with this free university? Is it different from what was going on before?
Well, they didn't say anything about what you're going to study, because you're absolutely correct. I told people from my time, teachers, nurses, not only was their education free, they paid for their books, and they gave them a couple dollars to put in their pocket.
Thank you very much.
So we're going beyond that now. We're going to all of these young people who were excited by the FNM, excited by Prime Minister Minnis, were promised that they wouldn't have to be stressing over these fees for UB, which when you look at how much they are not a small thing. So for instance, the people in Freetown, the people in the inner cities who the FNM said they love the people in the inner cities, won't have the pressure of having to pay for their children's university education so long as it's at UB. I am looking forward to that. UB starts again in September, eh? And
yes,
so we're
okay.
going to see very shortly whose time it is.
Happen.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you very much.
Take good care. And of course, Mr. Monroe, you might not be aware, geographically, the University of the Bahamas is located in Black Village.
Yes, yeah.
And I've been yearning for a good education. Look how, at 60, I'm going back to school.
And you won't have to pay.
And I don't have to pay. And then I'm far. Because where I live, I can jump the fence. I think it's powerful. I have another call. So, Monroe, this is exciting. Find me more texts, because you all know I don't know how to do WhatsApp. But Dr. Minnis, while in church last night, he said that they were not doing witch hunt. And I sat back and I thought about it. I said, by God, he knows where the witches are. Tout le monde haïtien, salutande, monsieur, comment est le leader responsable pour FNM? Dr. Ministre. Dr. Ministre dit, il pas jeune pour Fiat Lalo. Il connaît exactement Fiat Lalo habitude. Oh boy, it's such an interesting country. What is going on?
But you know, Senator, I literally had somebody listen to all that they say because I didn't have the time to do it. And I probably have to send you the list of everything that the people can expect so that you, because I know you have the will to hold people accountable or cuss them if they're not.
Oh, I'm cursing them out now. I'm cursing them out in 7 languages.
So I will send you the list so that you can.
Get me the list.
And we have tagged it now to, they promised this at this rally. We have the video.
We have the rally too?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And I need to know.
So they can't say they didn't say that.
And I need to know if Papa was there when they do it, because I want to use Papa as evidence.
Oh, yeah. From the hilltop
now,
to the
Papa,
valley.
You come up for minutes. Y'all think because I black, I stupid, eh? But I know. Welcome to Freedom March. Hello? Is the person there?
Hi, Honorable Senator Rodney Moncur.
God save the Queen.
You look so ravishing.
You think so?
Yes, you are. You look ravishing.
And they ain't paid me yet.
Yes. Oh, my God. This is one of your women, them.
Oh, Jesus. And I do look...
Yes. And I want to say a special good afternoon to your guest.
Mr. Monroe?
Good afternoon,
Mr. Monroe, such an excellent, fine young man. He's going many places in life.
This is powerful.
Yes. Senator Honorable Moncur.
Yes.
I want to just congratulate you for, for what you're doing. You're doing an awesome job.
Well, I tell you how you can pay me.
Minister pussyfooting these Bahamian people. We got swing again.
What he did?
He's pussyfooting Bahamian people.
No. This is Pussy Latimus.
Okay, Pussy Latimus, the Bahamian people.
Yes.
So... Okay, Pussy Latimus, the Bahamian people.
This is true.
You understand what I'm saying? So a lot of Bahamian people have been swing, so we're going to sit back and watch and see if this really the people's time.
And Sydney.
Sarkis or is Morellian time. You understand what I'm saying?
Don't call him Sarkis. Sarkis is Pussy Wilmore.
Okay, Sarkis is Pussy Wilmore.
Yeah. And Jeff Lloyd.
And I want to congratulate Mr. Wayne Monroe. Let him know he's born a winner and he will continue to win.
Oh, yeah. I thank you, my sister.
And we thank you so much and keep up the great show, Senator Moncur.
I shall, but don't forget Labor Day.
God save the Queen.
God save the Queen. Do I have another call? Yeah.
You know what I think you need
see how a woman them are revolutionary? I'm going to form the first real woman organization.
Oh, yeah. But what you need to do is when I send you this list now, I want you to start, you like to spell, I want you to count.
Okay.
How long it take the people to get what the people want. Because I haven't the free education yet, but I have about 14 acres for the port thing.
Goodness me, you was reading my document.
No, one of the first things that happened is the 14 acres for the port, eh?
Jeff Williams. Jeff Williams is at Arawaki. Damn fool. You're going to support Menace. And the people them, just opposite you, 14 acres. You hear me? On the southern boundary.
Okay.
You hear me? That is true. 14 acres. Jeffrey August Williams, his grandson, is that curly hair, no manners guy who worked for the Nassau Guardian.
That's the fellow who you cursed the Buckets Big Toe?
Yes. And that's what Menace can do. Christian the PLP. Papa them. They keep Jeff there. Now, special interest. You're right. 14 acres.
That happened quick, eh?
Well, don't forget now. Brent is in charge of finance.
Investment.
Welcome to Freedom March. Hello.
Good afternoon, Mr. Moncur, and good afternoon, Mr. Moncur, Mr.
Monroe.
Afternoon.
Mr. Moncur, it seems as if the new government already picked their Senate. I'm so sorry. I really wanted you to go back in the Senate.
Listen, I shall forever be the people them senator.
Sure, well, Mr. Moncur, for the
Okay.
first time in my life, I knew exactly what was happening in the Senate.
Yes.
But anyhow, Mr. Moncur, you do well on your show.
And listen, to show your support, you got to march with us on Labor Day. You hear me?
Yes, I will.
Come and bring everybody, because the Philistines are camped outside our gates, and we must turn them back. You hear me?
Yes, sir, we will.
You're a good woman. Man, the women them are powerful. They're revolutionary. They're ready to fight politically with the FNM. Do I have another call? There's no more. Go ahead. You're right.
So I think when we see who gets what and the speed at which they get
Do
it,
you know why? They say that they need the 14 acres. So when they bring in the little cheap cars that we is bringing, because they want ministers to stop us from importing those, you know, the $400 little car, they say they ain't making no money. And they want to set up road traffic out there. So when you come off, you can license your car right there. That's a part of it. Right here, I have the information, but I didn't have a chance to deal with it. All right? So that is what is going on. And I want to warn you Negroes, you better start bringing in your car quickly. Because Myers, you know Myers, the one who didn't pay the custom? He's just like the Nuncio. The only difference between him and the Nuncio is he's a Conky Joe and the Nuncio is a light-skinned Negro. They do not want us to bring in no more car. That is what they want. And so it's the people's time.
well, you know, if people can't bring in their cheap car, then they're going to have to walk and march everywhere, you know.
Can you imagine? The FNM did it before.
You'll have an automatic group of people who got to walk where you want them to
Yeah,
walk.
because Ranad ain't gonna march no more. Ranad going to the Senate, and he's looking for a way to bring John in. All right? But it is dangerous what the FNM is doing. My God, you can take away our ability to buy them little $400 car in China, Japan. That's what they're doing.
Well, I mean, you could do that. And some people make a case for it, and the reality is that you have to look and see who it benefits.
Right.
But there are more important things that you would have thought would be first in line.
Yes.
So just like UB opening up in September, I hope that's just as quickly implemented as this 14 acres.
Yeah. Just hold on for a second. Brensel Roll. What ministry Brensel got? State, what he is, what Brensel Roll is. Anyway, Brensel Roll, today, Brensel Roll, in the district of New Providence, appeared before me a Negro woman with a hand on her head. And she has told me that you, by yourself, and Glennis Martin Hanna, by herself, promised to fix the roof. And all she called, what the place name?
Urban Renewal or
No, the
NEMA?
people them, name her. Name of them, have her on the run. And Brensel, you promised the woman. I got a number, and I got a name. So Brensel, I expect you to go back in Garden Hills number 3. The woman told me. She told me, she said, Glennis, Hannah, Martin, and you. I tell her, forget Glennis, because Glennis is no longer in government. But Brensel, I expect you, okay? Don't forget now. When Menace move against you, only me and Papa stood with you. Only me and Papa. All right? So I want you to fix the woman roof. Garden Hills, number 3. I call you today, and you stop answering your phone. But in the days when Menace was persecuting you, you answer the phone every day. Okay? I don't want to curse you out. All right? So I can call you and send you the woman's name. And I hope you would go there and fix the woman's place. It's an elderly woman. She had my heart sad all day as I had to listen how Glennis lose and you came and you promised. Okay? Take care of the woman. The woman is a Negro woman. All right? Listen, I got about 3 minutes more on the clock. What you want to say to the Negro people then? Because I need y'all to come march Labor Day.
No, I'll be there, Brother Moncur.
You're going to come?
Oh, yes.
And I want you
Oh,
to
yes.
bring Freetown Let's march.
We'll be there.
Yeah, man, we're going to march. Because we're celebrating Burma Road. And you know what Burma Road say? Burma Road declare war on the Conky Joe in 1942. Do you remember the song? Going down Burma Road?
Don't lick nobody.
Going down Burma Road. Going down Burma Road. Going down Burma Road, I can lick you in ya. I can lick you in ya.
I say don't lick nobody.
Oh, well, in Blackburn, we sang it differently. Yeah. So, look, I thank you for coming.
Anytime.
And standing up against Gestapoism. And we have to make sure that every citizen is protected against this. So I thank you very much, Mr. Monroe. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Monroe came in response to trying to clear up some things, and I think it's good work that he's doing. All right? We have to make sure that in the body politics, power is not abused. The FNM has 99% of the seat. So we need to organize in a very lawful way, in a very constructive way, in a non-violent way. We will recognize the government, but we will take their own torch. Can you imagine with a torch? As I take the torch and put it on their foot. Because I don't want them to cost me the case. I'm a good man, and I have to set an example. So tomorrow, I'll talk about some other topics. I'm hearing good report that Dame Margaret will read the speech from the throne. So you take good care. God save the Queen. Be law-abiding, you know, and let's treat each other good. But let's keep the torch on the FNM, all right? Marvin Dames, stop locking up PLPs who ain't do nothing, or other citizens. If you were smart, you would have carried some of them FNMs. But you only carry the PLP. This ain't right. Okay, Marvin? And your daddy say, I don't like you. And that ain't true. I love you, Marvin. I don't know if your papa want me to kiss you. But if I ever see you and him together, I'm going to kiss you and him. Since he think I hate you. All right? Y'all take good care. This is Freedom March. I'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow. Monroe, thank you.
The thoughts, views, and comments expressed by Rodney Moncur, his guests, callers, and advisors on Freedom March are not necessarily those of the management, ownership, or production unit of ILS, the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is a production of ILTV Studios and cannot be reproduced or represented in part or entirety without the express written consent of the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is the intellectual property of the Verizon Media Group. Copyright 2017. All rights are reserved.